Welcome to another edition of Smalltalk for you. This morning I wanted to go through some of the reflective capabilities of Smalltalk and caveat this with some of the things we're going to talk about are things you shouldn't use a lot of in Smalltalk. They have their uses, but don't rely on them all over the place. The places you want to use some of this reflection is when you're reading data from external sources, for instance, a database, maybe flat files, XML files, that sort of thing. To get you started, I'm going to show a very simple class here, person with 3 instance variables. And over here, I'm creating an instance of it and giving a first and last name. And then I'm going to check what the ID is, and then I'm also going to send instVarAt 1. Now, instVarAt and instVarAt put, these are low-level capabilities that allow you to peek in, breaking encapsulation, even if you don't have an accessing method, and grab the instance variable in a slot. And just to show you this, we'll go ahead and do this, and we'll print out the ID, which should be some number. Actually, I didn't do a display, so let's go ahead and do a display on that. And it gives me 5. Also, person instVarAt 1, display that, it's 5. Now, the question is, when would you want this? Well, again, say you're reading from a flat file or you're reading from a database, you might want slot-based behavior when you can assume that all the variables are listed in the same order in, say, the columns of your database table, or the fields on a flat file or an XML file are in a specific order. You could read them in that way, and it's very fast. So again, putting data in, I can do this, execute that, and then see what the ID is. Display that, I get 0. So instVarAt, instVarAt put, they are very low-level behaviors defined at the top of the class hierarchy. You probably don't want to use these very often. In real code, I think I've used them in my 20-year career once or twice. Generally, if you're writing a framework for something like database access or proxy access, that's where you might use these. Generally speaking, they're useful to know of, but they're not something you want to make use of all the time. Even most of the time, you probably don't want to use them. Just be aware that they're there. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.